Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Transitional Changes Mission podcast show. We're your hosts, King and Queen Summers.
Yes, y'all. Thank you for coming back to tune in with us. And we are the most explosive new podcast show on Podbeam and all your social media. We sure enough appreciate that with open arms for my family and everybody.
Thank you so much. Wonderful topic tonight to talk about. King actually wants to introduce the opening for the topic tonight, which will be about some recent things that's been going on in our lives. So we want to take a time and set aside for tonight's topic. We're still going to get to that, but we want to talk about this one as well.
Yes, my people. We are here now, and we're here to help y'all understand a lot of things to inspire you. This is a family-friendly podcast show. And we just start out like this. For the ones that don't understand why we call each other kings and queens, my name is King Summers. That's what we go by, and I call my beautiful wife Queen Summers, even on this off the show. To my neighbor Victor, and we send our condolences to his family and everything. But I'm gonna give y'all an example of something why I call people kings and how that originated with me and everything else relating to things that I say on this show. Out of everything, make sure you talk to your neighbor or your friends or your families when you do get the opportunity, like I did with my neighbor that Tuesday night on my back porch for the last time. Make sure you're in that conversation on some good positive vibes, and you never know what might be going on, but you always tell that person you love them, because you never know is the next day is guaranteed.
That's true. And I mean, coming in on this conversation, the last time I remember the conversation that we had, and there was some issues going on and whatnot in his life, and every chance that he got, he always tried to come to the King and I for some words of wisdom, and we always was available. We made ourselves available. This last time he actually crept up on me as I was on the telephone talking to my mother, and I ended the call abruptly with her because I felt like, this young man creeping through my grass trying to have a conversation. Let me see what he's talking about. And I'm glad that I did now.
Within that conversation, we said some nice words that change, same thing like my wife would just explain. I'm always talking to people to inspire them to even get a understanding of what's going on in their life. And with my man Victor, man, he was a good people. He was my friendly neighbor. What I do with anybody, all of y'all are my friends and family and my brothers and sisters. And when I see y'all, I will approach you saying, "Hey, King," or "What's up, Queen," or "What's up, King?" And same thing what I did with my man Victor is that I used to say that to him for the first time. About the third time I said it to him, he actually asked me, he said, "Why you calling me King?" And I was like, "Man, I already know that you my brother." And I say this to anybody, man, you are a authority on this planet. You always got somebody that love you. If anything, your higher power do, and you always can know that Transitional Changes Mission will and do love you. So with that said, I can end that note just to say I send my condolences up to my dear friends and his family. That was only 29 years age left from leaving the earth too soon, but it was his time calling, and I just wanted to spread that knowledge to y'all and get y'all better understanding of I love you, and you need to say that to everybody because ain't nothing guaranteed, especially in these times. Don't you just call them up, maybe want to go see them or even do all this internet networking. It's no excuse, y'all. Just say I love you and keep on moving and say, "Hey, King and Queen." Because I love when I say that to somebody, I walk off from them, and it leaves them stunning or just thinking. And that's my job here on this podcast show with my wife. And what we got some inspiring sponsors and people that might come through to talk. And that's what we here for.
Yeah, so you are no longer my people. You are King and you are Queen. Now, we're going to get into this topic tonight. Rest in peace, Victor. But we're going to get into this topic tonight. It's about Brianna Taylor.
Another queen.
Yes, the Queen Brianna Taylor. Say her name. Remember her name. Because like her mother, Tamika Palmer, I also feel that justice was not served. The system really did fail her daughter, Brianna Taylor. Remember that name. Basically, she feels that, quote, black people, men, women, and children, keep dying at the hands of police and getting away with it. Now, Tamika's powerful message was following a grand jury's decision to not charge any of the cops for the fatal shooting of Brianna. So, according to Tamika, she never really had faith in the Kentucky Attorney General and claimed she felt from the get-go that he lacked the proper experience and already had chosen to be on the wrong side of the law. Now, the wrong side of the law. Brianna's mom says Wednesday's grand jury results solidified her belief that the legal system and law enforcement in America are designed to not protect black people or give them justice, and that the whole system failed her daughter. Now, that's why I wanted to talk about this topic tonight, because King Summers is also a member of Kentucky. He's actually from Kentucky, and so it really hit home to him to know that this state had a law such as a no-knock warrant in the books. So, King Summers, would you like to elaborate a little bit about how you feel as for the no justice, no peace?
Yes, I send my condolences, me and my family, and Transition to Change's mission does. Send our condolences to that queen. It's a topic, a topic that I was aware of.
I did some fact checking on that, and they said that she was knee deep in criminal drug activities with her ex-boyfriend, and she was under surveillance for months running drugs. These claims are false. They exaggerated his involvement in the investigation that led to the police targeting her apartment, and ignored the fact that much of the evidence linking her to that investigation has been disputed. So, according to a detailed police investigative report, which was obtained by the Louisville Courier-Journal, the investigation primarily centered on other individuals, including Jamarcus Glover, which was Taylor's ex-boyfriend. The document showed that he came to the attention of police officers through her association with Glover, who was a convicted drug dealer. So, police surveilled the addresses Glover frequently visited, including Breonna Taylor's apartment. So, Glover was not the man with her on the night that she was killed. And according to her family's lawyer, she had cut ties with him before the shooting. So, police suspected that he was keeping narcotics or cash, that she was keeping narcotics or cash for Glover for several reasons. They had a car registered in her name, had stopped at a separate property under surveillance, and then Glover listed her apartment as his home address. He frequently traveled between her apartment and the drug house. He had picked up a package at her home. None of this supports all the Facebook post claims that she was running drugs and knee-deep in criminal drug dealing activities. The presence of a relationship between them two does not prove that she was a runner. So, the post don't mention that the evidence linking Taylor to the investigation of Glover and his associates has been fiercely contested. And the family's attorney, Brianna Taylor's family's attorney, has said that the package that he picked up contained clothes and shoes. So, since her death, additional information has come to light tying her to him. In the weeks after the shooting, a police memo was leaked to the Courier-Journal that included a summary of a phone call that he made from jail hours after she was shot. And in the call, he claimed that he was storing money in her apartment. However, the police didn't find no illicit cash in her home, and none of these details were included in the search warrant application to the judge. So the Louisville police themselves criticized the link, calling it irrelevant to our goal of obtaining justice and simply not help.
I didn't even know, like I said to my people out here, as you listen, pick up a law book like it's influencing me to do. He was telling me about that in the state that I live in. I didn't even know nothing about it at that time, that they got a no-knock warrant. That is my issue with this topic. Now, without no book knowledge about it, I'm just explaining how I feel about it. I disagree, and I feel like it's going to probably be, as we dig with us, people, and we can find out a lot more information about many cases like this, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people can imagine you in your house, no knock, no one. I don't care if you're a drug dealer or not.
This is the thing, though, King. This is the thing. And, I mean, just looking at going over all of the facts that we have found out about her. They basically said that she was not asleep in her bed and her boyfriend shot at the police officers first. And all this is true because according to the interviews with Kenneth Walker, which was a boyfriend who was with her in the apartment, the two of them, they were in bed at 12:40 a.m. when they heard someone banging loudly on the door. And he said that he initially feared that it was Glover attempting to force his way in. So he grabbed his gun, which was legally registered under his name. That's what, a normal person would do if they felt like somebody was trying to break in their house, right? Okay, so according to him, both he and her, Brianna Taylor, asked who was at the door multiple times, but they received no answer. So the two of them were walking towards the door when police used a battering ram to bust into the apartment. Unable to see who was breaking in, he fired his weapon and, according to the police, struck an officer in the femoral artery. And so the police returned fire, striking him multiple times. And the officer survived his injuries. So that part was true.
Yeah, I'm not disputing no parts of the case that we can find out. If you can pull up some, be glad to write us an email at tcmissionspeaks@gmail.com. Write you a message about this and reply back, or give us a review. We'd love to get those.
So at the end, she was on the warrant, as was her car and her apartment. This is true, but again, Breonna Taylor herself was not the main target of the narcotics investigation. Basically, you feel that all the apparent discrepancies between the evidence that was presented to the grand jury and the evidence that's been widely reported, do you feel like this is a call for everyone to demand and take a step further by questioning if this was justice served? Because not to stop you, not to cut you off, but this is another night that we're going into in the town that we live in and many other towns across America that is protesting because they don't feel that justice has been served. And if I wasn't on the show right now tonight, I probably would be up there with them right now holding up a sign because I feel the same way. Like I said, this current justice system makes me sick to my stomach with what's going on.
And that's why I say we'll transition to changes mission. That's what we're here for. We done lay out many episodes off of this topic. And that's why I say our mission is to be the bridge to communication. The communication in this worldwide global problems is communication. Yes, my people, let us get this break in right quick and we'll be right back with you.
Yes, because right now the public outcry is suggesting that the officers are above the law. And if they're not above the law and, everybody must be held accountable for their actions and deeds, why not? Why not show the people that officers are not above the law?
Well, I don't feel like that's another thing that's what we got going on here, defunding the police. Like the media put out main sentence. No, defund the police. Nobody don't know what part they talking about. People making up. They trying to say that they don't want no police. Some people don't know if they talking about taking money from this part of the department. 1 minute in different cities got different defunding programs and stuff. And that's what I'm saying. The transparency of what need to be done need to be more clearly explained. Meaning, if you do want to defund, explain this. And I hear some community cities, mayors and states are asking, what do the protesters or people want? And most people are just screaming. And like I said, in an argument, you can't get nothing from two people yelling at each other. Somebody got to be matured and sit back and let transition to changes mission come in and hand over the transparent conversation to the other side.
Yes, because right now the public outcry is suggesting that the officers are above the law. And if they're not above the law and, everybody must be held accountable for their actions and deeds, why not? Why not show the people that officers are not above the law?
Yes. Yes, and also what I like to say about that is we need to get to a point to where it's a race going on. It always will be. I'm not